So today, on what kind of terrible ideas can we come up with? Sterling.
The terriblest.
Sterling has decided that we've got a mud bog. Today is Sunday. We've got the Drummond mud bog next Saturday. And he's like, well, my loves broke down because the loves all tore apart over there. So he's like, well, I got this Blazer and the motor doesn't really work. So I'm going to pull the motor out and put the love motor in the Blazer and change the front spindles over to 8-lug so I can run my 37s that he has. And I think besides that, it should kind of... Oh, we need to put different fuel pumps for fuel pressures.
Which I was looking. I got electric fuel pump in. So is there already a wire going back there? It's already like
so
wired in for a
put the pump
switch.
in.
I was like looking at the, oh, that is just hell. Like I really thought ahead about terrible ideas. I think the hardest part is going to be wiring in the charging system.
It's already does the other one have a one wire, or does this?
This one's different.
This one's different. Okay. But yeah, so what we got? Blazer, totally stripped for racing. 383 that's hurt, needs to come out, get gone through. Excuse me. Needs to get gone through. No inner fenders because we were going full race mode when we built this thing, but he's got these rubber flaps that go right here that kind of work. We'll see how well they work. And then what else we got is, so there's the love motor. There's the love. It's all tore apart. No motor, no tranny. The box is off of it, kinda, because it's getting different everything. But here's the motor with the broken tranny. We need that torque converter. We need this motor. And this is a totally stock TBI. Here's the computer. 350 out of a cop car, I was told. Caprice, I think. And then he's got this set of 37-inch radial TSL radials on 8 holes. And the Blazer's got 8 hole in the back, but it's got 6-lug up front. So we're gonna try and change the front end to this 8-lug pattern so we don't have to change the wheels. And yeah, we'll just kind of keep you updated. And if this all works out good, hopefully at the end of the video you'll be seeing this thing going through the mud pit in Drummond. Well,
how with the new and with the older?
This was supposed to be a pretty gnarly engine, but I think we did some of our mathematics wrong or something. Oh look, it's almost hitting the pan.
It's hitting the pan. I don't know what you're talking about. That's geometrics. Just don't mind the giant puddle around the pan.
Yeah, that's fine, and that's fine.
Just lots of mathematics there.
This was supposed to be a pretty healthy motor. If we did it right, it was supposed to be like almost 600 horse, 383. But we put Vortec heads on it with 202 valves or something. And the cam was too big, or the valve was too small. The
cam was too big for the amount of lift.
Yeah, that's what it was. So it bent and pushed out some. It pushed out some push rods.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean that's what they're supposed to be there for, right? It's like nature's rev limiter, just the push rods falling out.
Just the push rods bending and falling out. Which apparently, when you're missing those push rods, it doesn't fire on those cylinders anymore. Strangest thing.
Weird.
So we're gonna pull it out. Put some different parts in this area here. Probably get rid of these Vortec heads, which kind of sucks because that intake won't work anymore then. But we got more intakes.
Yeah, I got a brand new intake for
regular heads.
Yeah.
So
whatever they are, 60s.
And we'll have to check the cam, make sure it's not hurt and all that stuff. Alright, pull her out.
You wanna watch that tranny dipstick? The transgression dipstick?
Ow. And we're doing it with the radiator in because we're lazy. Oh, hold on. Plug wires. Plug wires are angry at us. Okay.
Are they angry on the other side? Or
We're doing okay. Oh wow, your whole valve cover gasket's just hanging and banging out the back here. Oh, this is the valve cover we pulled, isn't it? There you go. One motor
out.
383's out. Ready to have major surgery did. Alright. We got the fancy high stall converter out of the transmission. So when we built this, we had the 383, and was this a 2500 stall or 3500 stall?
It was 32 to 35.
32 to 3500 stall for this motor, because this was supposed to be a rapping old turd. So that one's out. We put a stock one back in. I believe it's a stock tranny. We didn't do nothing to it. Turbo 350, I think.
Turbo 350
with a 208 behind it. And we didn't do nothing to it, but put a high stall in it to help with this motor and stuff.
Terrible idea.
Yeah, well, we don't know if it really worked or not. We got this motor's all ready from his love, ready to go in. We had to change the flex plate because when the bell housing was breaking, so was the flex plate. It was cracking all the way around there. I'm pretty surprised she held on that well. I bet you could hit with a hammer and knock it out. So, had another one of those kicking around, so got it in. This motor is pretty much ready to go in. We'll drop it in, bolt it up. There's the other stock torque converter. That's the one that was on the Chevy Love motor. Drop it in, get this thing just kind of bolted in for now, and we might take the rest of the day off because it is Sunday afternoon. Yeah. There it is, Love motor. Bolted in, bell housing bolts, and motor mount bolts are in. So, now it's the buttoning up, needs spark plugs. Probably needs an oil change because it hasn't been oil changed in a while. This alternator, you can't tell, but then in the Love never had power steering, so we'll have to probably re-rig this pump into the bracket and then get a new, go find a serpentine belt, because everything else on this is serpentine. And yeah, Sterling and I already built the whole harness all standalone, so you said you're going to actually try and tuck that into the cab this time, though.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just slip right in here a big old heater box hole.
Because before in the Love, it was like crammed into the fender with rags and duct tape. And
those probably still be rags and duct tape, but it'll be inside. She's earned it.
So, yeah, and hopefully tomorrow night, the next day, somewhere in there, we'll be able to fire it up. We still got odds and ends, throttle cables, stuff to fix, vacuum, brake vacuum. Oh, you said we need to build a return line for the fuel system. Yep. And that high pressure fuel pump and odds and ends like that. It'll take a few minutes, but we'll get it. Alright, it's the next night. Sterling's back there taking the fuel cell apart. We got a bunch of the boring stuff did up today. Torque converter, bolts, starter, fuel lines, new fuel line. We're kind of in a rush, so there's not a whole lot of this. This is just, you know, it's no time for making it pretty. Sterling got the fuel pump changed to the high pressure pump. He got all the wiring did. It's wired in so it cranks off the switch, gets ignition off the switch, all that stuff. I don't know, a bunch of odds and ends, radiator hoses. Kind of got a belt size maybe that he can get tomorrow for on this belt. New alternator, the other alternator was screwed. Changed out the fuel. Power steering pump, put it on and put the pulley, got the right pulley on there. And so now we just need to get gaskets and plugs and a bunch of odds and ends like that, yeah. And hopefully tomorrow night we'll get to hear it run. And tomorrow night or the next night we'll be able to take it for a drive. Yeah?
Yep.
Alright, we'll see you tomorrow then.
Hey, guess what? We may or may not have did it.
Alright, so it's 90% of the way there. We need a belt still. The starter wire is currently touching the header.
Details, there's maybe trailing lines touching headers.
We need to, excuse me, put the inner fender units back in so the motor doesn't get totally covered in mud. But here, hold this. Battery still hooked up?
Should be. But yeah, she makes noise, does things, and lives to fight another day. No broken tranny can hold this motor back.
So, it's late the next day, so this basically took us, well, we worked on it half day Sunday, we worked on it after work yesterday, and we worked on it after work today, and it's about 9:30. So honestly, it went pretty quick. But hopefully the next shot will be as of us backing this sucker out and taking her for a little test rip. We gotta put the 37s on it, button up this few other things, fix the things touching the header over here. And next clip will be of it going for a test drive. Alright, so we got her mostly buttoned up. We're still missing a belt because we're having a heck of a time getting the right one. We still got a few other small odds and ends, like tying the computer up inside the cab and permanently mounting a box. But we're gonna make sure like things like the transmission works. Well, apparently it's leaking coolant now. I'm not really sure what that's all about. Hopefully it's just some spillage that he had, because it wasn't leaking. It didn't leak all night. Yeah! And the brakes work! What? And the brakes work! Yeah! And we got all 4 37s on it, but it's 6 lug in the front and 8 lug in the rear, so mounted them to some different wheels. They're like 6 wides. That's why the front tires look so much different. These are like 10 wides. But, I mean, it looks pretty good. It's gonna track good. Alright. It's almost there. Alright, so he allegedly got a belt to fit. I haven't actually seen it, but he said he put a belt on there. Well, I heard the belt squeal, so... Now we're ready for a test hit. First test run of it with the new motor in it. 513 gear water. And looks like he missed second. Or something. I think it might be low on tranny fluid too, I'm not sure though. Anyway, that was exciting. Alright, we added a couple quarts of tranny fluid to it. Let's see if she'll shift now. It's been a couple of years since this tranny's worked, but it was working when it was parked, so. The idle circuit on that throttle body 350 isn't quite right either, but. There's second. Yep, seems to work pretty good. We might be ready to go racing, boys. So, hopefully the next shot's us down in Drummond racing. Here's Sterling's first run in his Blazer. We're hoping she'll hold together. Sterling's rinsing off the Blazer from the race.
Yeah. Just half-assed. The hood doesn't open.
The hood's got too much mud jammed in it, so it won't open right now. But you don't worry about that. But that's how you build a moderate mud bogger that does moderate jobs in moderate amount of time.
Yeah, well, a little less than most. But, I mean, didn't win nothing, but still made it through the pit every time.
And I don't think anything's broken. Just lots of mud. I wish we could see the engine bay, because the engine's made out of mud now.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work on, but I don't know how these things work anymore. It's magic hood latches.
Basically, all this thing is a stock 350, a turbo 350.
Yep.
With a 208 behind it. Dana 44 that's open with
456.
456 and a some kind of a weird corporate rear end, really old one.
GM corporate with an Eaton third member out of like a 69 one-ton Chevy.
And it's welded. I think we welded that.
Yep.
With also 456s and 37s is all she is. And she made it through.
She made it through.
Did pretty good.
Yeah.
Banging second, nice and hard.
Ow! Put some 35s in this thing, it'd probably be a real contender for the class below.
So, thanks for watching.
Yep. Hope you enjoyed the Blazer and all its trashiness.
Come on back. I think we got another Blazer build we're getting ready to start doing.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot cooler. So stay tuned.
Vanderbilt certainly steps up and provides for this community in so many ways.
I feel like they share the mission of the school and the mission of the town that we care for people, we love people, and we'll make sure you're taken care of.
We are a larger business in a small community. We have an obligation to serve in a greater capacity than just to provide a service.